doctor. I'm here to chat with you about any health questions or concerns that you might have. So if you're just joining us or if you're new here, I do this live stream every night around this time, 5, 6 p.m. Pacific time. So feel free to join and ask me any health questions that you might have. I get a lot of great questions in the chat about certain health conditions. Really, anything goes. If you have questions about supplements, diet, lifestyle, we were chatting a lot the other day about cortisol and stress, how to help improve your cognitive health and different herbs for that. So welcome, thanks for joining, and feel free to drop any questions that you might have in the chat box. So while we're just waiting for some people to drop in and ask questions, I have my whiteboard here so I can do a little bit of a topic today. I was thinking, because I've been having some questions about sleep and like melatonin and that kind of stuff, so perhaps today I can talk a little bit about sleep and melatonin. So let's get started. Alright, so issues with sleep is a common concern a lot of people have. Some people have difficulty, whether that be falling asleep, some people have difficulty staying asleep throughout the night. So I'm going to talk about sleep and the two hormones that regulate our sleep-wake cycle, which are cortisol and melatonin. So let's say this is like, we'll do like around 6 a.m., 8 a.m., let's do 12 p.m., 2 p.m., and 6 p.m., 8 p.m., and then like 12 a.m. So if we're looking at, this is our timeline of sleep, we're going to look at cortisol and melatonin. So let's do cortisol with the black. So basically cortisol, what should happen is it should like spike up in the morning, and then it should start coming down, and that's cortisol. So if anybody's just joining us, hi and welcome. This is a Let's Talk Health live stream. I'm Dr. Amanda, naturopathic doctor. Thanks for joining us. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe and like the video. Stay connected with me and our health community that we have here. Right now I'm talking about the sleep-wake cycle and what that looks like. So this is cortisol. And then on the other hand, we would have melatonin, which is kind of like the opposite. So it would be low, and then it would start peaking down like that, and that's melatonin. So basically what you want is your curve to look like this. You want to have a spike of cortisol up in the morning. So that's going to start rising, and it will usually peak around that 8 a.m. time. So you want to be able to get out of bed, have energy, feel good in the morning, and not feel sluggish and tired. So that's what cortisol is responsible for doing. And then it will dip in the afternoon. So a lot of people feel like kind of tired, and they tell me like around 2 o'clock, I get that afternoon like slump of energy. It can actually be due to because your cortisol starts coming down around that time. So it is common to feel a little tired in the afternoon. So that is normal. And then cortisol should be low in the evening. Now, if you have, let's say, a cortisol imbalance and you're getting a bit of a spike of cortisol in the evening or before going to bed, that could be a reason why you're not able to fall asleep, because your body is not regulated properly and you're having difficulty falling asleep because you're feeling like your thoughts are racing, or maybe you're feeling a little bit stressed or anxious. That can be due to the cortisol. On the other hand, your melatonin, it should stay low throughout the day, remembering that like the blue lights and stuff do affect melatonin. So around that time, around 6 to 8 p.m. when your melatonin is going to start increasing, you want to make sure you're avoiding screens and things like that that can impact your melatonin production. Again, if you're not able to, if you're on your phone or your screen, you're not going to get that nice melatonin peak, and then you could feel, again, like you're not able to fall asleep. So that's a little bit about your sleep-wake cycle. So if anybody's just joining us, hi and welcome. I'm Dr. Amanda, naturopathic doctor. This is our Let's Talk Health live stream. I'm here to answer any health questions that you might have. Right now, we're talking about the sleep-wake cycle, cortisol, melatonin, but feel free to drop any questions that you have in the chat box. We get a lot of great questions on here about, you know, different supplements, different diets, certain health conditions. Yesterday we were chatting a lot about cognitive health and like mushrooms and herbs and stuff that are great for cognitive health. So feel free to ask any of those questions. Okay, so I'm just going to erase this, and then let's talk a little bit about some things for sleep. All right, so if anybody's just joining us, hi and welcome. We're talking about sleep tonight. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe, like, join our health community. Okay, so what are some things that we can do to help with sleep? So I already mentioned avoiding screens. So avoid screens, you want to try to avoid them 1 hour before going to bed, at least an hour. Well, let's just say avoid screens 1 hour before bed. The other thing is trying to have a sleep schedule or a sleep routine. So try to go to bed at the same time every night, wake up at the same time every morning. That's going to help your body's own internal clock regulate. So don't go to bed, 10 p.m. one night and then 3 a.m. another night. Try to go within an hour window. So try to go to bed around, let's say, 10:30 to 11:30 every night, and then wake up at the same time every morning. So that would be sleep schedule. What are some other things? Let's talk about some supplements or some herbs and stuff like that that can help with it. So in terms of supplements, one really good one, I've talked about it a lot on this channel, is magnesium. So magnesium, specifically the glycinate magnesium. So if you're just joining us, hi and welcome. This is the Let's Talk Health live stream. I'm Dr. Amanda, naturopathic doctor. Be sure to subscribe and like and join our community here. I'm talking all about sleep right now. So in terms of magnesium glycinate, it's a really great supplement, helps with calming the nervous system. You can do anywhere between like 200 to 400 milligrams at night. Can be very nice and gentle and calming. Of course, as I mentioned at the top here, it's not medical advice, so just double check that you're okay to take magnesium. But that's a really good one to help with calming the body down. Very nice and natural because it's a mineral in your body. So that's a good one. We've got some questions before about melatonin, so let's talk about that. So melatonin, I don't always go to this as a first choice, but it can be helpful for making you feel sleepy. So usually 1 to 3 milligrams, not too much more. And then just being mindful that it can cause grogginess and it can cause vivid dreams, which we've talked about. Do you have any questions? Groggy feeling and vivid dreams. So that's melatonin. Just note that it can do that. So if you're looking for something more so just to give you kind of a reset to help out with your sleep schedule or your sleep-wake cycle, you could try some melatonin, and then it's usually an hour before bed. Okay, so if anybody's just joining us, hi and welcome. I'm Dr. Amanda. I'm a naturopathic doctor here to discuss any health questions or concerns that you might have. Right now I'm talking about sleep. We've had some great questions on this community chat. I do go live every evening around the time of 5 to 6 p.m. Pacific time. So if you don't have any questions today, make sure to check back tomorrow and I will be there to answer your questions. So let's talk a little bit about what else can we talk about for sleep. Oh, we can talk about some herbs. So lots of really great herbs. One of them that I like, I'll just do this one in blue, is valerian. So valerian root is a really good one. Nice and helpful for helping you feel a little bit more relaxed, helping with muscle tension and stress. So really good for helping with sleep. Another one is lavender. The great thing about lavender is you can use that as like an essential oil and you can breathe it in. You can even have a little bit like on your pillow. Really good for helping just like helping you feel less anxious, helping to calm that down, that mental chatter that some people have. And then another one is chamomile. I like this one in the tea. I would say chamomile, you could do a tea. Lavender, you can do essential oil diffuser. And then valerian, I would suggest a tincture. So those are kind of like different forms. Herbs are so great because you can take them in different forms. So chamomile tea is really good. Also helps with digestive upset and bloating and gas. So any of those concerns that you have. Okay, so this is my little board on sleep tips. Hi everyone and welcome. If you're just joining us, welcome to the Let's Talk Health live stream. I'm Dr. Amanda, naturopathic doctor. We are answering questions in the live chat, so drop any questions that you have in the comment box and I will answer them. We've got some great questions coming in the past few days. We had a lot of questions about nutrition, cognitive health, different types of supplements. Melatonin was a big one, vitamin D. So I talked a little bit about melatonin today, but if you have any questions about any of those supplements, just feel free to drop it in the box. All right, so those I would say are the main things to help out with sleep. Definitely like these things like avoiding screens and sleep schedules are super important, but if you do need some extra support, supplements, herbs can be beneficial as well. All right.
Are there any other herbs other than the ones you listed?
Yeah, so there are some other herbs for sure. There's lots of different herbs. Passion flower. We can write these other ones down in black. So passion flower is another herb. That's another great herb to kind of help with sleep as well. There is also lemon balm too. I would say those are kind of like my top 4 in terms of herbs. So passion flower, lemon balm. There are companies and like different supplement companies that do create pills that are like or supplements that are specific for sleep. And generally, when you're looking at some of those, you'll have a combination. So they'll put some herbs in there. They'll probably put some magnesium, maybe some melatonin. GABA is another thing that might be in there. So GABA is a calming neurotransmitter, so they might put GABA in there as well. So just looking at what the breakdown of the herbs are or what the breakdown of the product is. But yeah, generally, if you're looking for a sleep product, it'll have a combination, but you can definitely just try one thing on its own. I would say do something more like the magnesium is pretty gentle. If that works well for you, great. If not, maybe choosing a herb in addition, and then if absolutely needed, doing melatonin. Another good thing about melatonin is if you're a shift worker, so if you work shifts where you're working overnight or even just a little bit off hours than the typical 9 to 5, melatonin can be helpful for shift workers. It can help with regulating your circadian rhythm. It's also helpful for travel. So if you're traveling to different time zones, you can take it when you're traveling to help like adjust to that time zone. So, yeah. All right. So if anybody's just joining us, hi and welcome. I'm Dr. Amanda. I'm a naturopathic doctor. This is Let's Talk Health. It's our health Q&A live chat. I do this every night, so just feel free to drop any questions in the comment box and I will answer them for you. And then come back and check out our community, so make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video, and join us nightly here for our live chat. Okay, so I'm gonna erase everything. We talked a little bit about the sleep tips. Today I got towel because I was trying to erase with the marker and it was taking me forever. So, all right. Is there any health topics that people want me to talk about or any suggestions? Anything that you were interested in talking about? Let me know.
Someone mentioned they just have sleep apnea and IBS.
Sleep apnea and IBS. Yeah, so I think yesterday we were talking a little bit about IBS, but let's write a little bit about sleep apnea. So that's a great topic. Now, with sleep apnea, usually you'll have to do like a sleep study to find out that you've had sleep apnea. Why don't we kind of talk a little bit about what that means? So basically, when somebody has sleep apnea, they're not getting enough oxygen to their body. So not enough O2 to your cells. And then the reason for that is usually because your breathing is off. So you can be like waking up throughout the night, choking for air, or gasping for air. You could be snoring, and you're not getting enough oxygen to your cells. And then what happens is you're tired during the day, or you're some people can fall asleep during the day, or they're feeling tired and groggy. So a couple of things I recommend. One is making sure you're doing, like, do the sleep study just to double check and see what's going on. And then pretty much with sleep apnea, one of the main things to help out with it is getting the sleep mask where that gives you the oxygen, just to help making sure you're getting enough of that. Another thing with sleep apnea is weight management is a huge thing there as well. People that have sleep apnea tend to be overweight, so making sure that you're at a healthy weight for your body body type and your height, and having some weight management techniques in there as well. So whether that be looking at diet and exercise, that can help out as well. And the other thing would be to use like a wedge pillow. So that can also help as well, because it can help with opening the airway a little bit more. So it would be like a wedge pillow that you can sleep on. So that's what I would say for sleep apnea. The main thing is like getting that checked out, getting proper assessment, and then weight management, wedge pillow. Those are pretty much the main top things for that. If anybody's just joining us, hi and welcome. This is the Let's Talk Health Live chat. I'm Dr. Amanda, naturopathic doctor. We were talking about sleep apnea. We also had some questions about IBS, so I'll mention that in a little bit. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe, like the video, join our community here. I go live every night and talk about different health topics. Any follow-up questions on sleep apnea, just let me know.
Thanks, much appreciated, spot on. I've been told to lose weight.
Yeah, so it's just because of the excess weight that it can have on your respiratory system, on your sinus health. Just losing even a little bit of weight can be very beneficial for some people. The next thing was IBS, and this is irritable bowel syndrome. So basically there's a combination. It can either be constipation, kind of talked about this a little bit more yesterday. You can go back and look at that one. Diarrhea, or mixed. And basically with IBS, what we have is a change in your normal stool. So let's say you're going less, like this one would be less than 3 times a week, for example, or diarrhea, you're going more than 4 times a day. Or a combination of that. So like your frequency of your stool has changed, and then also the consistency. So this one's going to be like loose, mushy, and this will be hard. So that's one component of IBS. The other thing is you're going to have some sort of abdominal discomfort. So that could be bloating, gas, like you're just feeling the sensation more than what normally somebody would feel. The other thing it can also be, IBS can definitely be impacted by stress. A huge trigger for IBS is stress. A lot of people mention that, you know, if they're studying, if they're in school, if they're at work, they have deadlines coming up, they have an event coming up, stress can greatly impact IBS. So that's another thing just to keep in mind. So you want to work on that gut-mind connection when it comes to IBS. So some things that I like for IBS are probiotics. Now I have a video that talks about, I think it's called like my 5 top supplements for IBS. It's one of my more popular videos. You can go and check that one out. I talk about the different strains, so like ones that are more specific for constipation versus diarrhea. So for example, with diarrhea, there's the S. boulardii one that can be helpful. And that's one that I talk about in the video, and then I also talk about some like herbs and things that are more specific for IBS, constipation versus diarrhea. The other day I mentioned a really popular and great one are peppermint oil capsules. Really good for IBS, helpful. They've been studied to show that they're great for helping with reducing that irritation, the gas, bloating, spastic gut, or cramping. So those I would say are my like top tips for IBS. So if you're just joining us, hi and welcome. I'm Dr. Amanda. I'm a naturopathic doctor. This is our Let's Talk Health live stream. I'm here to answer any health questions that you might have. So if you're new here, make sure to subscribe, join our community. I do go live every night. So whatever questions that you have in regards to your health, feel free to drop them in the comment box. All right, if there's any follow-up questions, if anybody else has questions about IBS, just let me know.
Another health issue I suffer with is basically C5, C6, nerve entrapment due to my dislocated spine. Nerve pain I suffer with down my arm and my right side and under my rib. My spine dislocated to the left.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. That's very challenging when there is like physical things going on in the body. That can cause a lot of pain, especially split disc, herniated discs, pinched nerves can cause a lot of issues. So one tip that I would give, if you've not already like had assessed or seen somebody for physical therapy, can be really beneficial. So whether that be a chiropractor, physical therapist, physiotherapist, somebody to properly assess you and give you proper exercises and stretching, because that is going to be huge for helping out. And then you may need to get some manual therapy, whether that be massage or something to even just help them with structures around there. Because a lot of times we want to make sure you're doing the right exercises. So that's one thing I would recommend. The other thing I would suggest is doing some anti-inflammatory herbs can be beneficial as well. So ginger and turmeric, those are 2 really good anti-inflammatory herbs. You can have them in your diet, or you can also take them in a supplement form. So let's just write down those 2 names. So yeah, having some sort of anti-inflammatory support can be beneficial. So anti-inflammatory, we got ginger, turmeric, both of those are really good. Another one is boswellia. I would say a combination of something like that can give you some great anti-inflammatory support. Then you'll also want to look at diet and lifestyle. So for your diet, you know, things like berries, fish like omega-3, those can be also really beneficial to get into your diet. So that's what I would say focusing on for anti-inflammatory, for nerve pain, muscle health, all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, so great question, thank you. If anybody's just joining us, welcome to Let's Talk Health live stream. We're talking a little bit about muscle pain, nerve entrapment, some things we can do in the diet, some supplements that we could take to help out with that anti-inflammatory focus, but also getting assessed by a physical therapist, a chiropractor, physiotherapist, somebody to help out with that. So if you're just joining us, this is Let's Talk Health. It's our live health Q&A. I'm Dr. Amanda. It's nice to meet all of you. Feel free to subscribe. Make sure to like this video if you're finding, my questions and answers helpful, or if you've just dropped by and you're curious about health, feel free to drop any questions in the comment, and be sure to drop back tomorrow and we will chat some more. Okay, so what else can we talk? We can talk a little bit longer. I'll stay on for a few more minutes tonight. I'll be back tomorrow, but let's see what else we can talk about with anti-inflammatory. You can, like, topical stuff, so what's it called? Contrast hydrotherapy, really helpful as well. So contrast hydrotherapy. So that would be like doing either contrast ice and hot, like ice packs and heat packs, or you can do contrast showers. That's also really beneficial as well. Great for stimulating circulation, blood flow, the immune system, getting the body healing. Those two things would be good. There's also like doing ice plunges and then saunas. That's also can be beneficial. So there's so many different ways of doing that. It's just can be as small as doing a heat pack and an ice pack, or doing like a full body plunge in a sauna. Just one note is you want to always end on cold. Always end on cold. So whether that be you're doing like the ice buckets and the saunas, or the contrast shower in your own home, you would do heat first, then cold, heat, then cold, and like whatever cycle you're on, end it on cold. If you're doing topical therapy, heat and ice, and always end on ice. So, okay. So those would be my top tips for anti-inflammatory. So feel free to drop any questions. I'm going to hang on here for about a minute or so. And as I mentioned before, this is our Let's Talk Health live stream. I'm Dr. Amanda, naturopathic doctor. I host this live stream every night. So thank you so much for joining. Be sure to like this video. Be sure to subscribe and join our community. I have various topics that we're talking about. So today we talked about sleep. We talked about sleep apnea, anti-inflammatory herbs. The other day we were talking a lot about cognitive health herbs. So feel free to ask any questions that you might have. All right.
I was supposed to have surgery, but what surgeon picked up was a disc bulge and recommended me not to have surgery. I've been on a wheelchair for my spine.
Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. So, like, you can always get second opinions. I'm not a surgeon, so I'm not an expert in that. But it's always good to have a variety of practitioners on your team. So the surgeon specializes in surgery, that would be their area of expertise. And as I mentioned, somebody that focuses more on rehabilitation and physical therapy, so they know what they're doing, maybe even looking into massage therapy, nutrition. Just having a variety of different practitioners on your team can be very beneficial as well. But hopefully you're able to get some relief. Look into some of these things. Of course, talk with your general practitioner to see if it's beneficial for you and if it's safe for you. But a lot of times, like, working internally can be helpful as well. Okay, so everybody that's joined us, or if you just dropped by, thank you so much for joining. This is Let's Talk Health. I'm Dr. Amanda. I will be back tomorrow to answer some more questions. Make sure you're subscribed and turn on notifications so you know when I go live, and then you can like this video to let me know that it was helpful for you. So I will see you all tomorrow night between around 5, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Bye for now.